Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today, we're going back to AI, our good friend ChatGPT, and we want to be able to share with you 4 additional tips on how you can utilize ChatGPT to help you excel as a recruiter. Ryan, any thoughts before we get into it?
Absolutely. This video is very timely because ChatGPT has evolved drastically over the past couple of years. And so the functionality that we're able to use it for now for recruiting versus what we could do when it just came out 2 or 3 years ago is widely different. And so excited to break out some more unique and more powerful ways to use ChatGPT to help us as recruiters.
These tips are some of our favorite ways that we utilize ChatGPT. If you have other tips that you also enjoy, please comment down below. We'd love to see how you guys are utilizing this fantastic technology. But let's get started. So I guess our first tip, Ryan, is helping analyze cans' resumes. So what are your thoughts with this, Ryan, overall?
So when it comes to using ChatGPT to analyze resumes, this is huge. And this was enabled by a recent update they had that allows ChatGPT to parse PDF documents that you upload to it. And so instead of having to previously just copy and paste everything, it was really kind of clunky and hard to use ChatGPT to analyze a person's background. But now you can say, hey, ChatGPT, this is the role I'm working on. Let me upload you a PDF of the resume of a candidate I spoke to. Can you tell me if they're good or not? And you don't want to rely on this 100% and let ChatGPT make the decision, yes or no, to submit a candidate, but it can do some more brainstorming with you. And so you can tell ChatGPT, okay, I think this candidate might be a good fit for XYZ reason, but I'm not 100% sure. What do you think? And then let ChatGPT read through the resume, read through the job description, and just give you some more backup to really help you bolster your argument of why this candidate is or is not good for a fit. So I think that is super powerful. And then because ChatGPT has read through this person's resume, they have a strong background on who they are, it can then help you create a submittal to submit to a hiring manager. So you don't have to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes typing up, Preston is a good fit because XYZ. You can tell ChatGPT, hey, give me 4 bullet points on why this person's a great fit. And you can copy and paste that and send that to the hiring manager. So it's powerful to give you another set of eyes, essentially, to check, is this person a good fit? And if they are, you can very quickly, write up a quick submittal form to say, okay, this is what I'm going to send to the hiring manager to try and get an interview scheduled.
And this is all about saving minutes here. No one wants to just spend time and just typing up a blurb or a paragraph. Let's just leverage technology and let it do it for us. And then obviously for the first point, it's all about ease of mind to making sure that your candidate is on point. So Ryan, why don't we go ahead and just do a little demo here and see what we're talking about.
So for this quick demo, I will be using this manager of technical account management role at Stripe. I just wanted to pick a very simple role for this demonstration here.
Are you struggling with getting responses from clients? Are you an established recruiter who is struggling to break 6 figures and beyond? Are you looking to start recruiting part-time and you don't know how? Do you feel burned out and stuck spending hours and hours each day in manual tasks like sourcing and outreaching and feeling like you have no time to actually run and grow your business? I am absolutely happy to announce that we have launched our own recruitment, educational, and coaching program to help you on your journey. We made sure that everything I've learned in the past 10 years, the tips, the strategies that really helped me build multiple 7 figures of placements on my own desk with some of the best companies in the world will be included in there. We'll also be including things like how you can build an acquisition system that brings in clients every month to your agency hands-free, how you can maximize the probability of a positive close during negotiations, how you can automate and outsource your day-to-day operations so that you don't have to spend hours per day researching or sourcing, how you can figure out the new and modern way to scale your agency that minimizes risk and maximize your upside potential. And we've also included much, much more. The best thing about this is not only will you be getting amazing content, but we will also handhold you and be with you every step of the way to make sure that you are held accountable and you crush your goals. We'll also share with you our own tech stack, tools, and plugins we actually use, plus everything else we know about automation and AI to help you save time, work smarter, and not be a slave to your business. The exciting news is that we've actually rolled this out to a select few people earlier this year, and I'm excited to see them well on the way to multiple 6 figures, with some breaking $30,000 to $50,000 per month already. So if you're interested to be a successful recruiter that can dominate in any market conditions, make sure you click on the link below to chat with another member of our team, and we're happy to chat with you to see if we can help you out. Make sure you jump on this really quickly. See you on the other side.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and pull up ChatGPT. So here we are. So for this quick demo, I will be using this manager of technical account management role at Stripe. I just wanted to pick a very simple role for this demonstration here. And so we are going to be checking if a candidate I have is a good fit for this position. Now, for this demo, I did choose as my candidate the CTO of Stripe. So obviously this CTO is very overqualified for this role, but we're going to use it, throw it into ChatGPT, and let it tell us whether or not it thinks that this candidate is a good fit for this role. So firstly, we'll come over to ChatGPT and we'll say, hello. I like to start with hello. And And let's say I am a recruiter who is recruiting for this position. Here is the job description. And so what we do is come over to the job description and do a quick copy and paste. Perfect. Now, this just gives ChatGPT the background on what is the role. So it gives more about the company and about the position. And then we can say this. Now, here is a candidate that I spoke with. Can you tell me your thoughts on if they are a good fit or not? And now here's where it gets interesting. We click plus and you can upload from computer. I'm going to upload the resume of the CTO of Stripe. This is not a resume that I got from talking to him. This is actually what I used in LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. They give you the option to download a LinkedIn page as a PDF. So that's what I did here. And so I said, let me know if this candidate is a good fit. I have uploaded their PDF resume. All right, click the little arrow. It'll do some thinking. It'll parse through the document, the resume that I uploaded. And then now here shortly, it will tell me whether or not this candidate is a good fit.
All right, drum roll. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what it says here.
It says,
based on the role requirements for the position, here's a breakdown of the fit. All right, so it starts with why this person would be a good match. So good leadership and management experience. They're CTO at Stripe and SVP at Oracle. They have great technical depth and they have a lot of customer facing and strategic experience. But as I hoped it would highlight, there are a couple concerns here. Overqualified. Being that he's currently listed as CTO, it could signal that the profile is being used as a test. Man, this ChatGPT is really good, but it tells you he may be overqualified for the position unless he's looking to step into a more user-facing position. Just gives you a couple of points too about why this person may not be a good fit, and finally ends with a quick summary on their thoughts. So what do you think, Preston, from this quick demo here?
I love it. The overqualification is great, but they also added 2 additional points. So they're like, hey, is this person highlighting the customer success specific experience? It goes in saying, while Rahul clearly has deep technical product leadership, it's less evident whether he has hands-on experience leading technical account managers. That's totally true. And then the third point is a SaaS fintech specific experience. Experience at Stripe in cloud does suggest exposure to fintech and SaaS, though the resume doesn't call out payments, service, revenues, or TAM. So it obviously called out something that we were hoping they would call out, the obvious, the overqualifications, but it's also just really cool that it highlighted a couple other things. And if you scroll up to the first section, all of this is like, yeah, technical depth makes sense, customer facing strategic experience makes sense. All of this is good to know if you're going to like try to come up with a write-up on trying to advocate for this candidate, even though he might not be the perfect fit. But again, this is basically all the things that me and Ryan would see in this background. And it's really cool that doing this live for the first time via ChatGPT, it spit out the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's say, Preston, for example, that I'm going to forget the negative points here. I'm going to submit this candidate anyway. I need to create a write-up, right? I have to get a list of bullet points that I want to send over to a hiring manager on why they should interview my candidate. So I'll come down to this bar here and type, thanks for that. I always like to be nice to them. Thanks for that. I still want to submit this candidate for the role. Please write up 4 succinct but informative bullet points about why this candidate is perfect for this position. And you click go. And then here it will create a quick write-up that we can either adjust to our liking or just copy and paste into an email or into a ATS submittal for our client. So here we go. So it says, here are 4 strong and concise bullet points to support submitting Rahul for the TAM manager role. Proven leadership at scale, deep technical expertise, track record of impact, and a Stripe insider perspective. So here is our write-up here. You can make it more concise, add more numbers, whatever you'd like to do. But the ability of ChatGPT to go through their resume, go through the position, and then create you a write-up that you can send off. Again, this is going to save maybe only 5 or 10 minutes per candidate, but if you do this 10 times a week, that's going to add up to hours and hours every week saved. So super powerful tool, and the ability for ChatGPT to do some of the deeper level thinking of, is this person a good fit? And if they are, here's why. That will just save you tons of time when it comes to submitting candidates for the positions that you're working on.
Sounds good. And yeah, to the point, succinct. Love it. Let's move on to point number 2. So for this slide, guys, it's all about sending NPCs at scale. NPCs stand for the most placeable candidate. It's a fantastic strategy to use when it comes to client acquisition, right? So when it comes to the whole approach here, we ideally want to be able to approach the decision makers or hiring managers with redacted profiles that match exactly the roles that they need help with. And where ChatGPT can come in handy is they can essentially read the job description, synthesize it, and create an ideal profile that you can then share with potential clients. So we're going to share that prompt with you in a second, but touching upon the second one, what does it mean at scale? So when looking to do this essentially at scale, it becomes really time consuming, requiring a lot of time per day to kind of make this happen, especially if you're doing things manually, you can again lean on ChatGPT with other resources like Google Sheets to do this quickly for dozens of roles. So why don't I send this back to Ryan, and he's happy to do another demo here.
Absolutely. So I will say this example is a little bit more intricate, but it is not too hard. So don't worry. For this example, I'll actually be pulling up a Google Sheets spreadsheet here. And when I was prepping for this video, all I did was include just the name of the role. For this example, we're using the same position, the name of the role, the company, and then the job description. So you can see if I open this up, this has the exact same job description that we copy and pasted into ChatGPT. But instead of using the ChatGPT interface directly, we are going to use an extension or an add-on through Google Sheets. And so what we'll do is we'll click extensions up here, and then you will search for this extension GPT for slides, docs, and sheets. If you have never used this extension before, then you firstly have to come here to add-ons, get add-ons, and then search for this. But once you do that, it's a quick 30-second process. It will look like this. So once you download that add-on to your Google Sheets, you come over here to extensions, GPT for slides, docs, and sheets, and click start. And so what essentially this is doing is this is integrating ChatGPT and Google Sheets, so where you can use ChatGPT within Google Sheets. And so what we'll do here is, as Preston mentioned, we want to create the perfect candidate based on a given job description. And so with this job description here, I want to have ChatGPT give me 3 or 4 bullet points about what the perfect candidate is and put it in this column here. And so what you'll do is once you have the extension turned on, click start here, you're going to come in here and type equals GPT, hit open parentheses, and then you're going to type in your prompt that we want. So we'll say, give us, the perfect candidate here. You're going to press comma, and then you type in the value of the cell that the job description is in. So for us, it's C2, and then you click enter and it'll go. So I've already done this ahead of time just to save a little time for this recording, but this is what I have typed up. And so I'll walk you through it here. So I'll say equals GPT, open parentheses. From this job description, please provide 3 bullet points, less than 10 words each, that describe the perfect candidate for this role. Please use key tools, softwares, and certifications from the job description. And please also include the number of years of experience this person has, and that is in the same industry that the company is in. One quick thing I wanted to note is that you can see the prompt is in parentheses, and this is key. If you don't put the prompt in parentheses, this will not work and it will return an error. So ensure that when you're typing up this formula, ensure that your prompt is in parentheses. And then as of course, we have the comma and then this cell that we are pointing it to. So I click C2 because that is the cell that this job description is in. So I click enter and give it a moment. It'll load. Boom. There we go. Here are our 3 bullet points about what the perfect candidate would be for this position. 7+ years of technical account management experience, 5+ years as a people manager, and strong communication and relationship building skills. If you don't like this, you can, edit this prompt to your heart's desire to get the results that you want to see. But the power with this isn't doing it for one, it is doing it at scale. So if we did our job order research, here we have a list of, let's say, 30 open roles that we want to make MPCs for. We can go ahead, put all that information in here, and then just drag this down to have the ChatGPT function run across all of your MPCs to then build you out all the MPCs for each role. So for here, it'll give me errors because here we go. It actually won't give me an error. But if you add more notes in here, you can see how quickly you can build out your MPCs at scale. You can just import this into your outreach software and boom, send it out. So being able to use ChatGPT with Google Docs to send MPCs at scale can be a huge time saver if the MPC approach is your usual go-to.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. Again, it's all about compounding the saving time per day when you're doing all these, minutia tasks that just lead up to a huge time load on our day-to-day. And so very, very awesome. And the coolest thing about ChatGPT is it's just going to get better, right, Ryan? Moving forward, this function didn't exist when ChatGPT first got launched. It's what else is going to come out 5 months, a year, 3 years down the line? And so when it comes to recruiting, we have to do all these manual tests and tasks. And if we can just leverage technology to kind of do it for us, it's a win-win-win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's all about that time savings. Where we talk about AI, it's not here to replace us. It's just here to help us out in small ways. If it saves us 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, that adds up to hours and hours and eventually days and days of time saved so you can be more efficient as a recruiter at the end of the day.
Exactly. All right. Point number 3. Let's talk about content and strategy, Ryan. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is one that I really like because from what we've seen in the recruiting space, building up a personal brand or a brand for your company is becoming more and more important as time goes on. Not only is it good to just give you a place online for potential clients and candidates to see what you're up to give you more legitimacy as a business, but over time, as it compounds, you'll be able to get more inbound leads. You'll have more clients reaching out to you that want to work with you, more candidates that want to work with you. And so again, that saves you more time and not having to do outbound and outreach. And so you can use ChatGPT to help you do just that. And so when it comes to building a brand or idea generation, if you want to start posting on LinkedIn, which is probably the place that you want to post content on if you are a recruiter, it can be hard to think about, okay, what do I post post today? What do I post next week? And so you can just sit down with ChatGPT and say, hey, what types of posts should I post on LinkedIn to attract new clients or to attract new candidates? It can give you some brainstorms on, okay, maybe post a video or maybe post a story. But even further than that, it can go deeper. It can say, okay, I want to post a story. What do I post a story about? And it'll give you ideas on, okay, maybe post a story about your most recent placement or maybe about a recent deal that didn't go through. And just to give you the ideas to help you build out a content schedule can be super, super, super helpful. But I know that it's not only helpful on the content creation for like LinkedIn posts, it can also be helpful for sending out emails or sending out in-mails. I know we have lots of videos that cover this, but you can say, hey, ChatGPT, this is a current email I send out. How would you improve it? Or I want to make some adjustments in my copy, not only for content, but also in my outreach. What tips do you have to make me more effective in either reaching out to potential clients and candidates or building out a brand to where potential clients and candidates can reach out to me? What other thoughts do you have there, Preston?
Yeah, again, just super, super helpful. Like, if you didn't have ChatGPT, you'd be having to just sit and resort and kind of think of this manually or do it yourself or add another 3 to 5 different steps. And so I love the fact that like we're just eliminating steps here. It goes so much faster. Brand building is definitely a very powerful asset that more and more recruiters are going to be looking into moving forward. And as Ryan said it's very time consuming though. There's a lot of upfront work that you have to do, a lot of creative angles and directions, and a lot of just jam sessions. And if you can use ChatGPT to help you everything from idea generation to copywriting, instead of having to go out there and do it yourself or hire outsourced VAs to help you with that, you're saving money and you're still getting the same results faster.
Absolutely. Should we do a quick demonstration on what this looks like?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. All right. So here we are back in our ChatGPT page, and I'm just going to say, now I want to start creating a social media calendar for my LinkedIn posts. I want to attract more clients for my recruiting agency. What type of LinkedIn content or even schedule wise, what should I be doing right now? So kind of a confusing prompt, little vague prompt, but we're going to see what ChatGPT can do to clarify this for me, brainstorm, and help me build out my own content strategy for LinkedIn.
Come on, ChatGPT. You can do this.
It's thinking real hard.
I also love how kind you are to ChatGPT. Guys, ChatGPT has feelings. Say hi. Wish it good morning and good evening. It's working hard for us.
As it gets more powerful, I don't want it to, to have any ill will against me. So I want to make sure I'm staying in the good graces of ChatGPT. All right. So here it says, great move. See, if you're nice to ChatGPT, it'll be nice to you with the compliment. Great move. LinkedIn is the place to consistently attract clients for a recruiting agency. Let's break it down. So let's see what it's got here for us. Firstly, on the content strategy, what to post. See, this could be really big because I know in the beginning, it could be really easy to ask, do I just type up every morning about like what I'm doing or like, what do I just talk about? And so we could talk about case studies, market insights, behind the scenes posts, testimonials, thought leadership. All of these can give you just a rough idea of what can I talk about in my posts. So gave us some great content strategy, some ideas to brainstorm what we're going to talk about in these posts, but also weekly posting schedule. I asked it, how often should I post? What should that schedule look like? And so here's an example of Monday through Friday, 1 post a day. So Monday, we start with an industry insight. Tuesday, testimonial. Wednesday, educational video. Thursday, market trend. Friday, a poll. And so it's really quite impressive, but also quite scary when you think about how it can do all this work for you. And all you'd have to do is execute on the game plan that ChatGPT gives you. So here did it not only give us some ideas on what to post, but also an idea of a schedule. And what else do we get? Tips for consistency and reach. Here we go. Even some success tips as well. So batching our content using hashtags, tagging clients. This is really serving it up to us on a silver platter of what we need to do to start building our brand and attracting more clients via LinkedIn. So it really makes it as simple as possible. It gives you a game plan for you to follow, and you can check this off one by one as you use this to start building out your brand on LinkedIn. So super powerful on the content side as well.
It's like you don't even have to think anymore, Ryan.
I know, it can think for us, which that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'll leave that one up to the viewer. I'll let you decide.
We'll let you guys decide. But yeah, just to kind of finish off the slide here, it can also be super helpful when it comes to just strategy. So when you're running a business, you're working for yourself, perhaps you want to pivot, perhaps you want to attack a new market, perhaps you want to change your niche. These are all things that ChatGPT can clearly help you so that you don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to add 10 steps or go to Google, go to YouTube or whatever, right? And so ChatGPT can be just a fantastic tool where, like we just commented, it can just do almost all these small little tasks for you seamlessly at just a click of a button. So no need to do a demo here, but just kind of wanted to at least mention it, that when it comes to just more business strategies or ideas or like, what are some of my different role titles in this sector, or what are some markets I could tackle and later this year, it could be a fantastic kind of resource to be able to kind of hopefully point you in the right direction. Cool. I guess why don't we go over the final slide here, Ryan? Email A/B testing. What do you mean by this?
Absolutely. And so this is pretty similar to the last slide, but it's all about using ChatGPT to narrow in and improve the messaging that you're sending out. So email A/B testing is something that we've been doing for a long, long time in our own agency because we don't want to just know that, okay, our emails are good, they're decent. We want them to be as best as they possibly can be. And we want to get the highest open rates, the highest click-through rates, all that kind of good stuff. And so when it comes to doing A/B testing, common question we get is, okay, I have my main email and I want to create a different version to test against it to see which one's better. But what do I adjust? What do I change? And so instead of using ChatGPT instead of using yourself, to figure out, okay, what's my version 1, what's my version 2, you can say, hey, ChatGPT, here's my original email. Can you help me rewrite this slightly differently so that I can test it to see which one's better? And then secondly, you can also alter the tone. And this is one that I really like and is really kind of spooky when I think about it, because this is where the superhuman element comes into it of sometimes an email you write can come off a little too professional or maybe at times a little too casual than the tone that you're looking for. And so you can use ChatGPT to make the adjustments to ensure that all of the emails or outreach you're sending out is exactly the right tone and style and as optimized as it can be to, again, get you the most responses, the most clicks, things like that. So before I pull up ChatGPT and do a quick demo here, any last thoughts, Preston?
I think the tone aspect is super cool. A lot of people's concerns about AI is like, oh, I'm just going to sound like a robot. I'm just not going to sound human. And while that is true for a lot of AI, also keep in mind that AI is going to get better into the future. But the fact that now you can alter ChatGPT's tone right now at the day of the shooting is great. The gap's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, where it's just going to be indecipherable for the receiving party, whether or not it was written by AI or a human. And that's cool. That's also scary at the same time. But, when it comes to professionals like us that do a lot of outreach, boy, oh boy, it's a time saver.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So cool. Let's go ahead and pull up ChatGPT here. Perfect. So I'll say hello again. Good to see you. This is an email that I send for client acquisition, but I want to A/B test my emails so they can always improve. Please give me a slightly rewritten version of this email while still maintaining the message's core value. So I'm just going to paste a quick sample email that we're using as an example here. So, hey, Tim, I saw that your team at Apple was hiring for a software engineer. And if we can guarantee we can share some profiles who perfectly fit the bill, would you be interested? If so, throw some time on my calendar. So that's our starting version 1 email. Let's click send here to ChatGPT and let's see what it sends back to us. I think ChatGPT
taking time again. Come on, ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's Monday morning. It's tired. Perfect. Hey, good to see you. Thanks, ChatGPT. So for A/B testing, here's a slightly rewritten version that keeps the core message but tweaks the tone, structure, and wording to test engagement. So if we take a quick look at our message originally, just to refresh us, let's see what ChatGPT gave us as our version 2. Hi, Tim. Notice your team is hiring for a software engineer. If I could send over 3 to 5 high quality qualified candidates that match what you're looking for in the next few days, would you be open to taking a quick look? So perfect. There are only slight variations in this email, but the message is the same. And so we can throw this into our outreach tool to A/B test to see which one gets a higher response rate or gets a higher click-through rate. But let's say we still don't like this version. For whatever reason, maybe it's a little bit too professional in our mind and we want to make it a little more casual. So I'll say, hey, I think this looks good, but it's a bit too professional. Could you rewrite this to make it even more casual? And let's see what it returns us with. All right. So it says, here is a more casual version that hits all the value points, but feels like a quick message from a friend. Hey, Tim, saw you're hiring a software engineer over at Apple. If I can send over 3 to 5 solid candidates who check all the boxes in the next few days, would you be up for taking a look? Totally free to review, no strings. If you're down, just grab a quick time on my calendar and we'll chat. So there you go. It just adjusted the tone. I'd argue this might be a little bit too casual if you're sending this out to clients, but you can, again, adjust this to your heart's content. You can make it more professional or more assertive or less assertive to whatever you feel the right tone is for your messaging. You can use ChatGPT to do this to ensure that everything you're sending out fits exactly the right voice that you have in mind for your messaging. So super cool and super powerful for ensuring that your messaging is really what you're looking to get out of it.
The thing is with email C, if I got that, I would have no idea if ChatGPT wrote that, right? Like it just screams and feels human, even though, yeah, you can argue that it might be a little bit too casual. So really, really cool. Any last thoughts here, Ryan, about this video?
Overall, I'd say it's just impressive what all ChatGPT is able to do. Like when it first came onto the scene, ChatGPT was more of like a fun tool to like have quick conversations back and forth with, and maybe it can give you some quick ideas. But the ability it now has to read through resumes, give you recommendations on why they're a fit or why they're not a fit, and to be able to do that at scale, I think is super, super impactful for us recruiters, especially on the agency side, when oftentimes you're doing a lot of outreach at volume and you don't want to take the time to manually write up all these emails and test digest new emails and, go through candidates. And again, at the end of the day, it's about saving small chunks of time that add up into saving large chunks of time. And so in my mind, what ChatGPT was able to do on the day it came out versus today is quite different and quite impactful. And I'm excited to see how it continues to evolve. And, in the future, we make more videos about all the crazy stuff that it's able to do.
Well, guys, you heard it from Ryan, and I appreciate your time. Ryan and I love obsessing about automation, AI, efficiency. We love nerding out, and we could simply make this video 2 hours long, but to respect your time, we're not going to. But if you have other uses that you enjoy utilizing ChatGPT, we'd love to hear from you as well. Comment down below. But otherwise, I hope you found this video useful, valuable, entertaining, and we'll see you guys on the next one.